Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Harden bags 39 as Clippers claim playoff spot and send Warriors to play-in. Los Angeles, James Harden scored 39 points as the Los Angeles Clippers defeated the Golden State Warriors 124-119 in overtime to clinch the final playoff spot in a thrilling last day of the NBA regular season on Sunday. Harden's superb display in San Francisco helped the Clippers bag the fifth seed in the Western Conference and sets up a first-round series with the fourth-seeded Denver Nuggets. The 35-year-old Harden's tally included two crucial back-to-back three-pointers in overtime that ultimately proved decisive in a back-and forth duel that saw the lead change hands 23 times. The defeat for Golden State means the Warriors must now secure their place in the playoffs via the four-team play-in tournament starting this week. The Warriors host the Memphis Grizzlies on Tuesday. Harden, meanwhile, praised the Clippers' composure in closing out the victory in front of the Warriors' vociferous home support. "We knew it was going to be a hostile environment, and the main goal was just to win the game," Harden told ESPN. "Whether it's scoring, whether it's playmaking, it's whatever it takes at this point." The win was the Clippers' eighth straight victory to close out the regular season, ensuring they will enter the playoffs as the hottest in the Western Conference after a campaign where few gave them much hope. "We know we're a good team, and we're excited to show the world that we're a good team," Harden said. Harden was backed up by 33 points from Kawhi Leonard while Ivica Zubac added 22. Stephen Curry led Golden State's scoring with 36 points while Jimmy Butler added 30. In other games on Sunday, Denver clinched the fourth seed in the West with a 126-111 victory over the second-seeded Houston Rockets. The Minnesota Timberwolves grabbed sixth place in the West, the final automatic playoff berth, with a 116-105 defeat of the Utah Jazz. The win means the Timberwolves will face the third-seeded Los Angeles Lakers in the first round of the playoffs. Steve Kerr makes shock Jonathan Kuminga decision in Warriors season finale v Clippers. In what's sure to be a growing storyline post-game, head coach Steve Kerr has seemingly benched young forward Jonathan Kuminga for the Golden State Warriors' crucial regular season finale at Chase Center on Sunday afternoon. With a win necessary to secure a top-6 spot, otherwise the play-in tournament beckons, Kerr has made the shock call to sit the former 7th overall pick after a less-than-ideal return from a long-term ankle sprain, having started the usual starting lineup of Stephen Curry, Brandon Podziemski, Jimmy Butler, Moses Moody and Draymond Green. Gary Payton too was first to enter instead of Kuminga halfway through the opening period. Buddy Hield, Kevin Looney and Quinton Post also saw first-quarter minutes, meaning Kerr is likely to have shortened the rotation to 9 in what is essentially a playoff game. Anthony Slater of The Athletic reported during the first quarter that word pre-game was that Kuminga is not part of the Steve Kerr scripted rotation. It now remains to be seen whether that could change as the game progresses, but either way it's sure to be a major storyline regardless of whether Golden State clinch victory or not. Following a 31-game absence from a significant ankle sprain suffered in early January, Kuminga has appeared in 15 games and averaged 20.8 minutes in a bench role. He's averaged 12.2 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 2.3 assists during this period, but has shot just 44.1% from the floor and a paltry 17.1% from three-point range. The ankle injury came at the worst possible time for Kuminga, who had been in career-best form over the previous 5 or 6 games, yet the 22-year-old has since struggled to reintegrate to a new team that now features a legitimate second star in Jimmy Butler. Golden State have a decision to make on Kuminga as a restricted free agent in the offseason, with this decision from Kerr not doing much to suggest the franchise sees a long-term future for the young forward in the Bay. There's long been speculation that Kuminga could command a deal in excess of $25 million per year, but it will be fascinating to see how prospective teams may view this decision and therefore adjust the entire market value. Kuminga has appeared in 258 games for the Warriors since being drafted in 2021. He won a championship with the franchise in his rookie year and holds career averages of 12.5 points, 4.0 rebounds, and 1.8 assists on 50.7% shooting. With a decision on his Golden State Warriors' future needing to be made in the next few months, Jonathan Kuminga is struggling to generate much momentum upon his return from a long-term ankle injury. Kuminga raised some optimism with an excellent performance in a big game against the Los Angeles Lakers on Thursday, but has since failed to score more than 10 points in any of the last 4 games amid a limited bench role. Warriors' failed Kevin Durant trade is the gift that keeps on giving. Before their blockbuster trade for Jimmy Butler before the midseason deadline, the Golden State Warriors had another even bigger deal in place to reunite with 2x Finals MVP Kevin Durant. The under-pressure Suns were ready to accept a deal that likely would have netted them Butler and further assets, only for Durant to block the trade because he didn't want to move teams mid-season. The rest, as they say, is history. The Warriors got their hands on Butler and have since gone 23-6 with the 6x All-Star, while the Suns have only further collapsed into disaster and will miss the playoffs despite having the highest payroll in the league. Given Golden State appeared incredibly desperate just before the deadline, it's ironic that Durant's decision not to rejoin them has worked out incredibly well. It's also bound to get worse from a Suns perspective, meaning it's the failed trade that keeps on giving from a Warrior perspective. Instead of potentially giving up multiple first-round picks and a young player or two for Durant, Golden State gave up what's bound to be one solitary pick outside the lottery, and retained all their youth. On the other hand, Phoenix missed an opportunity to get close to full value for Durant, and may now have to settle for under simply to ensure they get some flexibility for their roster. That's the opinion of ESPN's Brian Windhorst as the Suns prepare for a huge offseason ahead. It could be that the Suns have to look at making a trade where flexibility is their number one priority. Not necessarily because they want that to be the number one priority, but because their way out of this is to be able to change and be flexible with the roster, Windhorst said on the Hoop Collective podcast. The other issue for the Suns is that come the offseason, Durant will be on an expiring contract and therefore have considerable say in where he ends up. No team is going to give up considerable assets if it's only a 12-month rental, which is exactly why we aren't seeing Durant in a Warrior jersey right now. It could become problematic if Durant joins a close Western Conference rival, but otherwise this whole situation benefits them because the Suns are on the precipice of blowing it up. For a team who Golden State see 4 times in a season, and who have made the playoff in each of the last 4 years, that's an important deal. Now the question is whether the Warriors themselves revisit trade discussions for Durant, though that would appear unlikely given just how good Butler has been over the last 2 months. And you, fan? What do you think about Kevin Durant's situation? Write to us in the comments.